Okay, yeah. I thought it said earn more.
Or more COVID.
Come on, baby. Let's coax it in here. Come on, come on. All right, there we are, and we are live. And a very good evening to you, everybody. Welcome to you. It is the 28th of June 2020 in the year of Cornholy. I'm sitting in D-Dub sitting in with me tonight. And make sure, yeah, we're getting out the other side. Make sure the quality is decent on that. Yeah, that's about as good as we're going to get on that. That's good. What did I just do? I just clicked on that thing. God, I can't believe it. All right, there we go.
There's going to
Bill
be three
Ellis.
dots that you can get rid of.
Huh?
Those 3 dots right there, you can get rid of it.
I can get rid of it.
Oh, maybe
I don't want to go through a whole schlemiel with them. Hello, Chef. How are you?
Hey,
Naisha,
Chef.
good to see you. Andrew Pacino, Lolly Cunningham, good evening
Lolly.
to you. Laura Wright, I hope that you guys are doing well this evening. We'll wait a couple more minutes till the chat populates in here. Yeah, they rearranged something. I guess because I put Cornholio in the title, they went a little crazy with that. Hey, Michelle in Myrtle Beach. I'm drunk and just filmed a fantastic show. There you go, Chef. I'm imagining it's pretty damn good, man, when the chef gets down. When the chef gets down to it, I'm imagining. Good evening, Ninth Element. Nice to see you tonight. We got a pretty warm night. We got high fire danger here, which is not unusual this time of year. What's unusual is it's early. Generally, our fire warnings, we have what's called red flag warnings here in California. And if the wind sweeps off of the desert, which we're having at this moment right now, the humidity plummets and it stays warm because we're just being reinforced by there's a huge high pressure system over Nevada, the Humboldt Basin. And it just keeps spinning in a clockwise direction, and it keeps fueling those waves of hot air off of the desert into the Bay Area. So I had to give the plants a supplemental watering today, and we're supposed to have very gusty winds overnight, possibly up to 50 miles an hour on top of some of the ridges here on some of the higher hills. Hello, Craig. Good to see you.
Hey,
Danny Williams, thank you for your nice comments on the videos. Hello, Sandy. Good to see you. Craig Sr., thank you to you too. And Chef, for your taking time to watch today. Disco Crisco, how you doing? And Robert,
hey, Robert.
Robert Huckstadt. So I'm always a little edgy here. Hygiene, as I've told you guys before, this is probably one of the most dangerous places in America to live. You have earthquakes potential, and Santa Rosa was wrecked in 1969. Earthquake took down the federal building downtown and some other things, and of course 1906. Per its size, California was devastated much more, and the death toll was much higher per capita here after the great San Francisco earthquake than there was down in San Francisco. So it's right on the fault lines here. And you never know these days in the time of Cornholio what's going on. And then number two, if the earthquakes don't get you, the fires get you here. So that's number two. And for those of you who are new to the channel, in October of 2017, October 9th, overnight, we had a catastrophic fire, one of the first wildfires that ever got loose into a city, into an urban area.
Hey, Nocturnal.
And it laid waste to 6,000 houses in 6 hours. It was a tremendous toll.
Wow.
I woke up in the morning. You can see on my Instagram, I looked at the sky at 6:30 in the morning. It was just orange. All you could see was orange in the sky. How you doing, BWYA? Nice to see you.
Hey,
Jay Berlin. How are you? Super Cereal Victoria. Thank you, Chef. I'm going to get to that in a little bit. Hello, Missy. So I'm always, last year in October when I was doing the van build, we got underway, got to the Rancho just when they had fires up where JK NoCal lives, and that fire got right to the edge of his town, and they massed a huge amount of fire apparatus and trucks and pumpers, and they made this line, and they just held that line against that fire coming across the road into his town. So
Wow.
it was tough. Hi, Doris. How are
Hey,
you?
Doris.
Yeah, you got to be on edge for the tornadoes, and of course, the worst thing about a tornado is if it comes in at night, you can't really see where where it is.
Yeah.
In the day, you can get a visual sighting.
Those
But,
tornadoes down in Dallas are horrible too. They're
and
really bad.
I would think the crossing the plains, and of course it's very flat there. It's very frightening in the evening in the dark that you don't really know where in the hell that tornado. You know, you have something blare over your radio, take shelter immediately, and you don't know if that's 10 miles away or if it's a mile away from where you are driving. So it can be very scary. So I'm always a little on edge. You know, guys still have a bit of PTSD from 2017. Nothing in my life had ever prepared me for the devastation that followed. I'll tell you what, at one time, think about this, how big California is. At one time, one half of every piece of fire equipment in the entire state of California was right here fighting that fire. One half
Wow.
of all of the equipment.
Wow.
Hello, Joey D. So that's how serious. They had firefighters from Australia, Fiji, Samoa, New Zealand, worldwide coming into to battle it. So it's a good thing they kept what was left of the city. And then, of course, the next year, the campfire burned down Paradise, California, and became an even bigger wildfire that it totally took the whole town right off the map.
And it started from a campfire.
No, they called it campfire because of the location. It started because of a PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric power line, went down and sparked the fire. That was it. High winds, tree branches fly, they pull the power line down, and boom. Now we have these shut-offs that are mandatory. They'll warn you we could shut off power because of high winds or something like that. So it's a very, yeah, it's a difficult. It's a difficult time. It keeps us all on. Sure keeps me on edge here on the Rancho, and I thought I'd never go through that again. And then, damn, last year the same crazy thing happened. What the heck is wrong with this thing here? Let me see if I can even pull that down tonight. There we go. Okay, there we go. Thank you. And if you're coming in, please hit the thumbs up button. It's most appreciated. Danny Williams says Paradise, California is my hometown.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I woke up this morning and the Press Democrat, our local paper here, had a story that they've reached the 2/3 mark of houses being rebuilt since 2017, which would mean about 4,000 of 6,000 homes have been rebuilt here. So I'm sorry to hear that, Danny, about Paradise, California. They really got whacked up there. So that just kind of had me on edge. That was the first red flag warning that came out today. You know, let's face it, the COVID-19 right now has us sort of paralyzed right here, and I've been using that time. I'll get to that about the camera. Come north on the Pacific Coast Highway. It's safe and chill. There you go. Well, I will get up there eventually. Ninth Element. You've been up north and
All the way up to Seattle this year even.
Yeah. So for me, that one chunk is missing. I've been on I-5, which is a very boring ride between the Bay Area and LA. You know that. We turn off for Bakersfield. Normally we'd go down to the end of the valley over the hill and we'd be into the Los Angeles basin. I've gone on 101, which was the old original route north-south in California, but I've never been on Route 1, the Pacific Coast Highway, below Monterey, down there in Downsview. So that's something I just want to do. Hey, PJ, how are you? Listening while falling asleep? Yeah. So definitely want to get up. Oregon, of course, is beautiful. And up in Washington, you told me Washington State is like, wow. I mean, it's green and it's...
yeah, it's very, very nice. It's got everything. It's got a high desert. It's got a tropical rainforest, actually, and then it's got snow and mountains. I mean, it's kind of weird.
Hey Debbie, how you doing? Jay Berlin. Yeah, I heard they closed the bars in L.A. And I don't want to be caught in a situation I've told you guys before where I don't even think the gyms are open right now. Are they in California? I don't even think the gyms are. I'm not being charged by Planet Fitness. So how you doing, Karen Smith? I haven't heard anything from Planet Fitness, so that's supposed to be a phase 3
Hey, Karen
opening.
Smith.
Yeah, Oxnard. Hey, Johnson. Hey, Johnson. The weird thing is, every county now has the ability to set their own deal. And when you have as many counties as you have in California, some counties haven't even been touched. And other counties are just being decimated by another one watching. Hey Noreen, how you doing? Yeah. Hey VW says Oregon is awesome.
It is. Yeah. Actually, it's very.
I've heard beautiful. That. Hi Penny Pincher. I've heard it's a beautiful, beautiful area.
You know what I like the best about Oregon? You don't have to pump your own gas. It's against state law.
Oh, wow.
So you get full service.
Must be one of the last places. It must have been one of the last places in the country to allow you to pump your own gas. But we're not the only ones caught in this dilemma. I would imagine some of you follow the channel Gone with the Winds, and it's a channel that I've followed since 2015 when they were RVing. And they have a significant 300,000+ followers on YouTube, and they're basically stuck in Fiji right now. Their boat is like 500 miles on another island somewhere, but they can't get to it because borders are closed down, and they're trapped there. Hey Peachy Pie. Gemini's. Hey Susie Q, how are you? 18 bars lost their liquor license. Wow. Okay, I'm so glad I work third shift. We don't follow the mask rule. We've all shared germs anyway. Well, D and I share the same. We know it's going to happen, right? Mm-hmm. Do we need to say it? Herd immunity. You can't escape this thing. It's sooner or later. I don't care what they do in China. You know, Beijing says we have the latest outbreak under control. Let me tell you what, man. There's really no element of control on this thing. The coastal towns of Bandon on the Oregon coast is very pretty. I've heard it's beautiful up there. Very scenic along the coast. It's definitely a place I'm going to get to. I'm going to leave no stone unturned in terms of where I would like to see in the country. And, you know, Dee's been also laying in some plans for the summer and some things that you're going to be doing too, apart from me. So, you know, life goes on and grinds on. So I'm hoping this week, this I'm kind of determined is the last week to be around coming up. It's going to give me a chance to address that siding issue out there. I had to pull the paint off to let all the water dry. You can't just go over there and repaint it because of the moisture will just cause it to bubble again. So you got to let that sun bake that a while. So that'll be pretty good. I'm going to attack this this week and then make sure the garden is in tip-top shape. In the orchard, you had a couple plums today.
Oh,
tell them about those Santa Rosa plums, man.
That was the best plum I ever had. She's like, "Oh, go ahead. You can go ahead and take one off the tree." And I bit it. No, it was so juicy. My hands were just dripping. But one wasn't enough. I had to pick another one.
Well, there's going to be.
It was great.
Tomorrow, you guys are going to look forward to the plum harvest. We're going to get an initial plum off tomorrow. They're ripening very quickly now. And you keep looking at those peaches there.
Mm-hmm. I do.
Oh,
I think they're ready. No.
He keeps pressing on those. Yeah, there you go, Chef. These are Japanese style plums. You have the English style plums, which are like the green gauge, and the traditional plums that you know, nursery rhymes 4 and 20, 6 pence or whatever, baked in a pie, stuck in his thumb and pulled out his plum. This is a different kind of plum. This is for fresh eating here. These type of plums. They don't make into jams well, and they don't really bake up that well. They're just made for just a delicious eating eating plums here. So I'm happy that D enjoyed that. So tomorrow we got that video. I try to get a little sun tomorrow too, but I think the place is in pretty good shape around. I mean, I've gotten a lot of stuff cleaned up here, but this COVID-19 is really, it's just, I almost kind of wish there was a national interpretation, but it wouldn't be fair to the people in Nebraska and, you know, other states that have had no issues. You can't ask them to shut down and suffer along. So it's different. Moxie said, I like them hard and sour. Plum, that is. There you go. Yeah, it's plum crazy. So that's kind of what's going on. What are your thoughts as you look out now? And I know you get your morning news briefing and things like that. And how do you think this whole thing's going to play out this summer? You think we're headed to?
Well, I don't think we'll be in another lockdown. I think it's going to be pretty much a lot of partial lockdowns and release and re-lockdowns and things like that. I think it's going to make it hard to travel.
Yeah, thumbs up or appreciate, guys. If you're just coming in, we got 100, almost 150 people. Let's put it up there. The thumbs out, up or appreciate it. Ninth Element says it was. I figured out where we met. It was on the Bread Trucker channel. Paul Barger. Yeah, yeah. Bread Trucker Paulie there. Yep, that's exactly where we met. Yeah, it's a different kind of thumb. How you doing, Honey Badger? Hello, Raquel. Yeah, Plum Crazy was a great Dodge Challenger.
Hey, Raquel.
Color. I don't know, D. I've just, in my life, I've never seen such a confluence of things coming together that are so difficult. And wouldn't you know it, guys, it has to be an election year this year. And they're already predicting it's going to be a disastrous election. It's going to be contested. Probably in every court in the land will be, you know, some states want to have mail-in voting, and it's going to be the you know, people thinking fraud, and that's what you think it's.
I think it's gonna be
easy to mark up a couple a couple ballots. And hey, Lindsay,
hey,
how
Lindsay.
You doing? Death rate super low. It is insane, Mouse Toes. It is. I think we're gonna domestic travel. Good evening, BB and John. Yeah, that first 4 to 5 week panic mode.
Hey, BB.
I believe that the death rate will start to rise now. Accordingly, as we have cases that are filling up the hospitals, and a certain number of them are they're not going to make it through that that survival process on there, and sometimes that takes time. It can take a week. Some people have been lingering for over a month on ventilators and things like that. Robert Sharp, handsome Robert in the chat. How you doing, Robert? Hope that your mother's well. GSHLTV.
How you doing?
Much love from Toronto. One of my favorite cities in the entire world.
Hey, Robert Sharp.
Toronto. So good to see you. But I think the death rate's going to start rising. It's just, how do you process it all in a day, D? I'm blessed and cursed with a great memory. I remember in January, February, sitting here, and the first images, the first news thing that really made me sit up and take notice was when they showed the aerial satellite image of over in Iraq. They were digging mass graves. That was in late January, early February. And in my lifetime, outside of war, I'd never seen mass graves on an epic scale. And then it went into Hong Kong a while later, and they stripped all the supermarket shelves like a horde of locusts. And that's when I put out my first warning on February 17th that, hey, man, there's something on the horizon. It's a little unusual in here. But now, Brazil is crazy, but there's so much headlines going on around the world that we don't really know. Like Brazil now takes a back seat, even though the death rate's rising, because now our infection rate is rising and things like
Right.
that. So they're catching it at the community level now, though, in hospital level. So exactly, we're both doing okay. Just I can imagine, Robert. Well, good for you to be home. Okay. Hey, Jamie. Yeah, the mass graves. I thought it was BS until I saw the pictures of it, and then I'm like, okay, this is some real shit right here. This is the real deal. And let me tell you, I've looked at a lot of satellite imagery in my life, and that one was one that really made me sit up and take notice. So I guess if there's good news, D, well, I don't think it's good news. It's hitting a much younger pop. It's now in the 20 to 40 range, is having a higher positive testing rate. So I guess it makes sense because they're the more active. They congregate more. They socialize more. They went to the bars. They went to the clubs that open. The beaches. So it's not unusual. Yeah, Raquel says same here. I've never seen anything like this before. Did we overreact here? I don't know. When they write the history, there'll be a lot of Monday morning quarterbacking. There'll be a lot of gathering facts from here and pulling that together. Well, we should have done this and we should have done that. But it's very hard to do that on the fly.
Yeah.
It's like calling an audible up on the line of scrimmage, right? I mean, it's just you just at the last minute here it is, and bodies stacked. It's invading everyone. It's got some weird, insidious ways of spreading through one's body. So that's what I say, Moxie. If anything argues for this thing to be some synthesized virus, it could be that. The word is pernicious. The sneaky and way that it spreads itself. You couldn't have told me with the heat down south and humidity. I thought this virus would be cooked out like seasonal influenza is,
Yeah,
but
a lot
no.
of people thought that.
I thought that, but I'm not really seeing the evidence. The good news is the thing can weaken, or more unlikely is it can mutate to a more dangerous form too. And the doctors that I've talked to, medical doctors, are all of one voice that viruses are more likely to weaken to a less dangerous form. In the 1918 Spanish flu epidemic was one of a rare one that mutated to a violently more dangerous mutation there. So Raquel says, I honestly don't think we acted fast enough because remember this, Raquel, we had H1N1.
And this was actually the worst year for it.
Yeah, we had the avian flu, the swine flu. We had things come in from Asia before, and they got all hyped up. Hey, you need to get your, I'd be watching Hong Kong news like, oh crap, we're goners. Doctors and nurses are dropping like flies in Hong Kong, and then it came to be not such a big deal, So when this one came around, I think the president's like, and I don't think the CDC was really on top of, I mean, come on, man.
Well, they had like these 2 new strains of flu that they were also trying to fight vaccines for this year. And they said it since they started recording the flu is the worst year ever.
Yeah.
So they weren't really too concerned about that right off the bat. They're more or less concerned about the flu because there's a lot of people that died from the flu this year. A lot.
Yeah, I guess if there's any saving grace for me is that I'm O negative blood type. So, hey, John, how are you? Good to see you, Dave. And it's coming back hard because, this is the bad thing about an election year is politicians will drum this up into huge mistakes, and we should have locked down the whole country and should have had National Guard out there if anybody's caught on the streets, blah, blah, blah. It'd be like something out of purge, you have 24 hours to prepare and get to the stores for whatever you need to 90 days to sustain yourself. You know, they'll be talking that kind of crazy talk too. Susie said, Rosie, I honestly thought you were wrong when you sounded a warning about this. I was wrong. Well, Susie, this one struck me as unusual. Uh, I'd never seen mass graves apart from war. I've never seen mass graves. Hey,
Aaron,
Aaron,
how you doing?
good to see you. So,
Susie,
Johnny West, how you doing? Yeah, people became complacent.
hey John.
Now, I don't know what that means for the future. I do know every morning I wake up, the cases in California overnight, we went from daily increase of 1 to 3%. I woke up this morning in our county, we've jumped from 1,000 to 2,000 cases in 2 weeks here. Now we're gaining at 10% a day. Hey, Jen, what does that mean if you are an O blood type? It means that statistically you're 16 to 22% less likely to be full-blown infection from cornholio for whatever reason that they don't really know. Yeah, I did put up some drone footage in Petaluma last week. I'm still, Dee will tell you I'm sweaty on when we put that drone up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, is it over yet? I want to get a lot more. I want to blend the drone in with the travels that are coming up. Trump failed because he failed. I don't know, Aqua. I'm not going to make that type of command decision. Remember, this is a president that had record low unemployment. The economy wasn't really as great as people say it was, but jobs were plentiful. They're still plentiful in a lot of places now, but all of a sudden, wham! That's a lot to deal with. That's like the onset of the Great Depression of 1929. So that still has to play out. Robert says, what are you guys having for dinner? Well, I had the joy of the leftover chicken. I had 2 of those delicious thighs tonight, and I threw a potato into the microwave and had a baked potato.
Hey Scottish.
And that delicious chicken. Hey Scottish, how you doing? And if you guys haven't hit the thumbs up, let's see if we can ram this to 100 thumbs up tonight. That would be great. That would be awesome if we could do that tonight. So take that little hand down there, bing. That would be wonderful. Samantha said Rosie's eating really good with D. He continues to exceed my expectations of what. When I looked at his face when I said I really have a taste for fried chicken, and he didn't give me a face like, oh no, but you could tell the wheels were clicking and he just got to it. He didn't ask me, do you think this is done? He didn't ask me, do you think this needs more spice? He didn't ask me about the mashed potatoes. That confidence factor in cooking is such an amazing thing to witness, and I really, really like that. That chicken was delicious. Hi, Miss Kitty.
Even reheated, you liked it, huh?
I didn't even heat it. I ate it cold, man. Are you kidding? I'm not going to heat that up. Just right out of the fridge and right down the old Gulliver, man. Right down. That's it. I don't got time to heat it up, man. I just got to bite it. That's it. How you doing, Charlotte?
Hey, Charlotte.
Good
hey,
to
Miss
see
Kitty.
you. I tell D, man, you think I'm going to take time to heat that? That's gone right down in the old belly, and that went down good, too. We got 1 piece of strawberry pie in there.
I'll be tackling that for dinner. I've already had 2 pieces today.
Yeah, taking charge is a great thing. He's not trying to offload disaster if it happens, which I had to go through for months here. That what's the old saying? Success is a orphan, and what is it? Success is an orphan, and failure has many fathers, or whatever. So I was always tried not to buy in when you know, who was cooking, so I wouldn't have to get the blow. Boy, you said this, or you said it looked okay. I don't want to be involved in it, man. If you're gonna cook, cook, right? Yeah, that's it. Marinating a big roast for pot roast. That sounds good. 90 in Baltimore today. Didn't eat it all. It sounds like a normal day in Baltimore for some time there. Uh, yeah, well, Shine, I'm not sure about that. I didn't exactly hear a lot of alarm bells out of the CDC and all that. Your patience paid off. Yeah, exactly.
And as far as the Obama economy, he really ruined it.
So.
He had 8 years to fix it and didn't.
Yeah, that's right, Susie. Asking advice or input is always a great way to lay blame later. And who in the hell wants to be in a cooking situation where you're doing that? Guys, we're only 7 away from 100 thumbs up. Let's bang it in tonight in there. So I bought a New York strip steak as a treat. So we're gonna be here. It'll be up to D. There's no chains on the gate here. He's free to come and go as he wants. But I think you mentioned you're going to take the week to put some more coin in your pocket. And I'm going to finish the maintenance projects that need to be done here on the Rancho. Do some harvesting. Make sure everything is in tip-top shape. So I'm really targeting next Sunday as takeoff day. Moxie says that's an excellent point, Rosie. Indicative of level voiding responsibility. Really, yeah, it was being served by a chef. I don't want somebody to lay blame on me for a dish gone bad. Thank you, guys. Don't be gaslit. Forever Spring, lighten up a little bit, okay? We're not here to discuss. I don't discuss politics on my channel here. Okay, you're welcome to stay, but you know, this is about my life and Dee's life and whoever else in travels and adventures. You know, everything is Monday morning quarterbacking of what we could have done and should have done and all that. We've moved far beyond that now to pulling down monuments. As I said this morning, we're in a full-blown cultural revolution in this country.
Yes.
It so reminded me of China in 1966 to 1976 that I felt compelled to share the story of how I've started to be swept into the swirl of that with my Louisiana Homa plantation video, which was a sugar plantation that I filmed in 2017. And getting increasingly, you know, as the views go up, 50,000, 80, over 100,000, it's getting a lot of attention now. But as I said this morning, I went in there, hey coach, I went in there as a person appreciator of beauty. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's how I saw it. But I know that a black person could stand there, or probably wouldn't even go there, and see that as a place of misery, enslavement, unhappiness, and I get it. I get it. I sure do get it.
No, Chef, because if you look up all those, I personally don't think so, because if you look up all those protests and everything else, I would say a good 90 to 95% of the people were wearing masks.
Yeah, maybe Chef means from a psychological point of view that you compress people like a spring. You put them in a lockdown situation in a lot of states, they feel like their liberties have been denied. Let's face it, a lot of people complained. A lot of businesses had heavy fines. We had a big string of charity thrift shops closed last week here because of the heavy fines that they endured by not getting with the program. A lot of people felt like it was an assault on their liberties. So I think that people may have had a little bit of an inclination to be a little more feisty on the street. On the Johnny West, yeah, a little more feisty on the street. So, Chef, I think it might be more of a psychological point of view that predisposed people to be a little more hair-triggered about events that they had seen on a daily basis, maybe in places like Minneapolis, you know, a neck chokehold and things like that, that suddenly They were being exposed all over the country, and it was just fueling the flames of that. Now it's just turned in. It's just morphed into something else. It's taken a life on its own. It's a cultural revolution now, and I can imagine if and I don't really. I'm a very moderate person in the middle, but you can imagine if the radical left wing of the Democratic Party gets control of the whole country, you can imagine there's going to be a hard tilting to the left in this country, with probably pretty extreme consequences for a lot of people here, and they'll have hearings and witch hunts, and I predict it'd be like the McCarthy hearings all over again.
Hey, Trixie.
Yeah, sucks when people can't see you smile. Hi, Trixie. How are you? Made strawberry pie. Hey, that's good. All right. Yeah, LA County has about half of California's corona. We're jumping here in this county, Janet. I can tell you that. In 10 days, we went from 1,000 to 2,000. 2 weeks, 1,000 to 2,000 cases here. Love, they went into the Beverly Hills neighborhood. Well, I'm just telling you, I really think that we're in the initial stages of a cultural revolution here, where the cult of business success, like we had in the 1920s, that businessmen were praised, the J.P. Morgans, the captains of industry, and then when the stuff hit the fan with the Great Depression, they were hauled before Congress and just filleted and just laid out. And, the respect for government rose and the respect for business fell during that period of the. So we're going to be blowing up a lot of. We're going to be blowing up a lot of sacred icons here and things coming up. You're going to see. You're going to see. I think we're in a real cultural revolution here. Nice to see you, Monkey Boy. Yeah, will we be Venezuela? At the rate we're going, one has to wonder.
Ooh, strawberry milkshake, my favorite.
We might have a very split nation too, with people feeling that they want steady as it goes. It could be a urban versus rural, situation here where people out in the outside of the cities have a much different idea and opinion about things than people that are in the midst of this storm of protest and everything else. Yeah, corporations went political, and bam. Do you think any of the Planet Fitness gyms will open up in the Santa Rosa, California? We're going to know in the next week or so, Coach. This is going to be the make or break week, I believe, for California. So, in the meantime, the travel news has not been. Hey, Cheryl, the travel news has not been very great out of places like Vegas. They're talking about now, somehow or another, doing away with the Luxor hotel down there. Now.
Oh wow, the cool one.
And also the what the hell is that one that's a castle? It looks like a
Excalibur.
Excalibur.
I love the Luxor. I thought that was really beautifully well done, inside and out.
Yeah, there's some rumors of imploding and.
Hey, Angus.
And taking those two casinos. So, and the restaurant union workers are suing the strip casinos. They don't think there's enough safety down in the casino. So, we're in the whole balance of power. You can feel it's changed in this country. You got some fresh bits, Mary. Yeah, I always wear my mask when I go out, Janet. But I just don't think that. I got a feeling it might be a while till gyms open and things like that.
Thank you, Lynn.
In this country.
Hey, Amanda.
Jan, good to see you. Amanda, hello, good to see you.
Hey, Jan.
So, I just have a feeling that things are tenuous. The thing I'm really keeping a track of is ICU capacity versus emissions, and also whether the death rate begins to climb behind the. There's usually a lag between that. If it doesn't climb, then I'll have concluded that it's just a lot of testing is bringing to light more positive
What I want to
cases.
know is how many deaths per like test they have, like percentage wise, compared to what it was before. You know what I mean? So before they vamped up all the testing, because that would really give you more of an idea what's really going on.
Yeah, the problem is that statistics, they gather, they're lagging. Unfortunately, a lot of those statistics have been politicized now. You can
Yeah.
imagine in Democrat strategy meetings and things that they, you hate to say they don't want things to be better, but they don't want the best possible light, optimistic light put on things, because unfortunately this is an election year, okay, and panic brings fear in people's minds, and fear causes people to go in and vote sometimes against, or sometimes for, or sometimes against their.
Hey, Shelley.
Sometimes against that. Sometimes against that. Well, oh no, Mo. There's another comment that'll never see the light of chat. Bye. Guys got no idea of the filter on this channel, so you just wasted your whole. You just wasted your whole troll account on that. Boom. Let's see. Chef said, I like the Luxor, have good memories. I've never even, hey, Shelly, I've never even been inside the Luxor.
No?
Nope.
Oh, I have. It's it's
Yeah.
wonderful. It's awesome. I love how it's all set up. It's just wide. It's just like a big open. It's just wide open. It's really nice.
Nature Man says, have you seen your subscriber base increase since you started collaborating? For me, my channel just always proceeds at it's almost a very predictable pace. I can't really speak for D. I know
Mine's
his
been
channel's
pretty much-
grown a lot over the
Last year, it's
last year. In my opinion, he's brought, continues to hone and improve his content and the things he's doing. I think working more and putting money in your pocket becomes a self-reinforcing thing, that you start to feel better about yourself. You feel more positive. You feel like you're doing something that is making money, and also gives you some freedom too to travel. So you really have a good setup there. No, I didn't say the Luxor is closing. I said the rumor mill. I just saw it reported today, is that the ownership of them would maybe like to close and revamp. It's hard to revamp a pyramid, or something like that. But
yeah. Thanks, Trixie.
Other good Lord, we got to change something to that process. Yeah, it's like the worst time to happen. It seems like your thumbs up if Skyrock. Well, I ask people now, because you always have haters come in that'll tell you. You'll listen in other chats, they'll tell you they don't go over there and watch, but man, they always show up, which helps to drive the view count. And I've always got people that appreciate the content. Plus, it's nice to ask people to support in a non-monetary way that doesn't cost a penny, and that's a great thing. So let's see if we can get to 125. Let's see if we can ram it up to 125 thumbs tonight. So that would be awesome. So holding. Yeah, Janet holds on to her thumbs up. Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate that. Join D because of Rosie. Yeah, we collaborated back in May of 2019, and it's been a good collaboration. There'll be times that D's going to be peeling off and doing his own thing, collaborating with some other people, and that. But once in a while we come back together and do the content. So
I collab with quite a few people.
Yep. Let's see. Rosie always said you do bring good content. Thank you, Thomas Jordan. I think that's the thing that people fail to appreciate. They want to be haters. That as far as the community I'm in, I bring the highest level of content year in and year out. Travels, adventures, all those videos, all that work and effort, all that editing. There's really nobody that can touch that within the community, and that touches off, unfortunately, it touches off jealousy sometimes, and some people get enraged, but that's just the facts of that's YouTube. That's a social media platform in a time when it's attracted more people that have found out that YouTube is free, more people that are social misfits, people that are outside the realm of normal mental health, and use this as a place to vent and to unleash their inner demons on people. But it's just par for the course. It's what it is.
Yes, Jan. It's pretty much depends on what city you're in, but most cities are, almost every city, you cannot park between 2 to 6 a.m.
Yeah, thank you, Scottish. I bring a lot of variety too, so if I don't upload anything on a daily basis for weeks, it would still be running at anywhere from 6 to 10,000 views a day every single day on the channel, because there's so much back content. People that discover moonshining, yeah, this is good. I follow this whole process, or people that enjoy vintage audio, or people that enjoy metal detecting and restoration and renovation projects, and travel, restaurant reviews. There's not another channel that can. There's not another channel that can touch that in the quantity that's been produced.
Thank you, Lynn.
As faithfully, and that's not just to be bragging. That's just to state a simple fact. So I'm so glad I left that community behind now, and so glad in early 2019 that I pulled away and did my own content. It was the most rewarding.
I'll be back.
Yep, your laundry's.
Yeah, otherwise it'll get super wrinkly.
Really, chap, it always thumbs up. Thank you, Lynn. I always welcome people that are new chatters to come in and say hi. The truth is, anytime you see that thumbs down, it's somebody that just can't resist watching the content, and they always show up to show their support. And that's the bottom line. Let's see. Layla says, "I live in the hood where you live. I always tell folks about you." Thank you, Layla. And I think Jan Adams, another one that brings great content. I think Mouse Toast. There's so many people that do that. Tony says, "Talk about content variety. Rosie taught me how to properly break in my inverter generator." Thank you, Tony. Another big video of mine, how to make your generator last forever out there. And it's another one. You put good content out, people like it. They don't care about the thumbs up and thumbs down. I don't mind asking for it, because not everybody comes in and gives a thumbs up. But as I said, it just drives them to create more negative channels and things, and that's fine. It just keeps driving up the views, and that's a positive too. So I kind of like that aspect of it too. So it's like a win-win situation for me. But I like that. But I don't ever really dwell on it. Rarely I'll ever talk about my own channel and things. Maybe 2-3 times a year, because I'm not here to bang a drum. I'm here to make content every day and entertain people and bring that variety. So of course I'm happy to be on the road. I'm happy to get hope to settle the camera issue, but it's a very tough decision for me, and it doesn't have to do with money. Okay, it has to do with making a proper decision. Well, Janet, you've been an integral part of my channel, Janet Fields, since day one. Back in January of 2013, the road trips to Reno in June, and so many things for so many years. You and the boss and Bobby have been a constant theme. Unfortunately, with the pandemic and health situations being what they are, it's the time to just isolate and be safe. Yeah, she's our, hey, what's up, pig boy? She's our Archie Bunker. She's our Archie Bunker cranky one. Yeah, she is. So, um, but I did reach the point where I want to get beyond the cell phone. I went from cameras to cell phone, and now I want to branch out and take up the quality. Let's see. I did laundry today. Still felt guilty. Grandma never did work on the Lord's Day of Rest. I didn't do a lot except sit in that chair back there. Let's see. I read about what Shane Dawson did to Willow Smith. I really don't follow any of those channels. Carly, please don't. You're a great knowledge. I love this. Oh, okay. Thank you, Elaine. Yeah, I shared a little bit about my what my ex-father-in-law had gone through in China and his family for the tremendous price that they paid for being successful in a cultural revolution. All of their possessions were taken, their homes. They were made to parade around the streets in their finery and like they were going to an evening opera cocktail party, to walk for miles down the street where people could shame them and throw rocks and spit on them and things like that. And drove that lesson home to me about a cultural revolution and how bad it can turn. And then of course the government felt bad with the opening and restored their crap damaged and everything, but did give them some compensation that became worthwhile for that. So yeah, I did see Maxine. I did not comment on her video because I haven't watched it yet. I don't want to be one of those people to just, oh, that was wonderful without having watched the video. But I was so happy to see her back. Let's see if we can get to 150 thumbs tonight. Make me really blow my stack here tonight. That would be great. I don't think I follow any huge channels. I prefer more, yeah, I do too. I mean, when I was watching Gone with the Wind, their live stream today, they're the sailboat people that were RVers. They had 5,500 people or something in the side chat, and the chat was moving so fast that they were able to see 1 out of every 100 comments that came across, and it just, that's the first live stream they had ever done, so it just surprised people on there. Yeah, parts of classic Rosie episodes. Yeah, there's a huge classic database in there of videos. Most of them are funny as hell when we're out. Whether it's the Reno vampire crawl or whatever the hell it was, a lot of good trips. I'm gonna get the drink of soda real quick. So, do you mind taking over a minute?
Sure.
Yeah.
What? I wasn't here, so I know what we're talking about. How you guys doing?
We're talking about life.
I just had to step away, fold some laundry, because if you don't, it gets wrinkly. None I can't stand than wearing some wrinkled clothes, looking like a hobo.
Oh, it's finally starting to cool off just a little bit. It's down to 80 in here.
So I keep looking at my hair, and I'm like trying to go one way and I keep forgetting it's the opposite.
Oh, man.
Hey Thomas, how you doing?
So I think 1 more week will be perfect.
I'm down with that.
Chance for you to put some bills in your pocket, and I've got all of my stuff now. I've got the credit cards, I got the debit cards, I got my temporary driver's license. I'm in good shape. I have things hidden on the van. If I get locked out again, I'm good to go. I mean, as long as somebody can get the door open, then I can I can get moving, so I'm good. You like those blue curtains? Thank you, Timothy. You know, people run hot and cold on those curtains.
No, Larson, neither one.
Thank you, Kevin. Yeah, thumbs up. We'd like to see if we can get to 150 thumbs. We're only 3 short tonight. That would be great.
What icky red chair?
Oh, the My World in OKC Tammy. I used to have a red chair with a red back and a red bottom, and then Tammy sent me this wonderful, beautiful chair
wow.
here. Yeah, yeah. I got some wonderful people. My wallet never showed up. I didn't expect it to show up, honestly. Given where it was probably dropped, the chance was zero. If I dropped it in a nice area, it probably would have showed up, but that's the downside of Chooch in the Hood is you got like no chance. Good night, Wolf.
No moxie. All I gotta do is wash my hair and then let it dry, and it just
Yeah,
does this
good.
now. I don't even own a comb or a brush.
Yeah. Don't make me open up my troll account. Moxie, that's funny. That's funny. Janet Fields needs to choose. Well, I'm not much of a rosy homemaker here. I'm happy. The less time I'm here, going forward, the happier I'm gonna be. Ideally, I want to be gone for weeks and then touch base for a week, and then gone for weeks and then touch base for a week. I want to use these years. I mean, I can draw Social Security now if I want to. Woo!
Oh, thanks, Trixie.
Can you imagine a rosy girl drawing Social Security? Honey, what are you talking about? You can't draw Social Security. But yeah, so that's a pretty weird feeling. That just hit me today. Like, wow, I could be on.
You could if you wanted to.
I could if I wanted to, but I'm gonna wait it out till the normal retirement age. Yeah, Mr. Z and Handsome Robert solved the hanging curtain. I can't wait to see Robert again and hang out with him and do a good old-fashioned Oakland chooch with him. But, D, the world's changed a little bit now. I can't be so, cruising around some hoods like I used to.
No.
We got a far reduced police presence now. We probably, although I haven't seen it statistically yet, the incidence of crime in the purge will probably, once the real thugs have a perception that they can get away with things, it's going to be tough. No, I don't think I asked for a senior discount yet. Hey, Jacob, how are you? Good to see you.
Hey, Jacob.
Thank you, guys. We got over 153 thumbs there. It's your money and you need it now. That's exactly right. Hey, RV Fat Cat. Yeah, it just hit me today because I don't feel my age. I feel like I'm always bouncing around.
RV Fat Cat.
In my mind, I feel like I'm 25. D will be like, yeah, you acted, so you're just crazy and stuff. You're lucky we had a nasty wind. There's a big fire. Yeah, I heard that, Trixie. I saw that. Closed down one of the road up to Mount Charleston. Shift. Yeah, there we go. Always in my mind, I'm telling you, if you're over driving that gear, New York City's crime is in skyrocketing. I expect Baltimore, Philadelphia, Detroit,
Dallas,
maybe Indianapolis, Houston. I expect a lot of places because look, like I said before, if you're a police officer, how are you feeling right now? Especially if you're a good
underappreciated.
one. Let's say 90% of the cops are good and 10% are rotten at the core out there. Okay. If you're one of the 90% that tries to diffuse situations, try to, not have to push paperwork and fill out reports and all that kind of stuff, you're feeling a little, what was it, the number of people that have applied to retire in New York City is up 47% of the police department have applied to take a retirement. It's not going to be easy to replace those officers. You start to lose the seasoned veterans that know the streets, and you start putting. I mean, I looked at the National Guard, and wherever the hell it was when the protests first started in
Minnesota.
Minnesota, and it looked like 18-year-old kids. It looked like kids, high school kids, standing there with
Hey,
rifles
Jay
and stuff.
Holly.
That was spooky. How you doing, Jay Holly? What's going on? I thought most people still at home in New York City. No, they started to. They started to be able to move around. Yeah, fine. Bait the hook. Well, that just makes you a dick. So there we go. Just take them out. Their messages never get seen. But that's what I worry about. Is who's going to replace all these officers that are going to retire? And would you want to be a police officer right now? I don't think I would want to be. So I definitely worry about the crime rate and all that. Do like Camden did. They brought in the state troopers. But doesn't that just replace one force with another? I mean, you still have to cover the state, right?
Yeah.
And when you come in as a new officer, guess where they stick you? Right in the worst area, right? They're not going to put you in the sweetheart neighborhoods. They're going to put you, it's like what told me when I applied for and was admitted to the FBI Academy and did not go because I was in Hong Kong at that time. They said, when you start with the FBI, you ain't going to be working out of some plush location somewhere. You're going to be, we always start people, in the worst areas, and then with seniority, they get moved out of those, areas. RV Fat Cat says, I feel so lackluster lately. Don't like this feeling. Got to change that. You know what, RV Fat Cat? It drives D crazy. But focusing my mind on this decision, this mind-numbing, racking decision. I even started drawing D in for his for his consultation today. Has allowed me to get through another week of being focused on that. Because if I think about the people speeding in the neighborhood, if I think about the red flag warning for fire danger tonight, if I think about the fact that I haven't seen a Santa Rosa cop on the street in a month, if I think about the fact that the gyms aren't open, if I think about the fact that cornholio is rising, and I think about the fact that the economy is cratering here, well, no wonder you feel the way you do, RV Fat Cat. So.
Cobra John, how you doing?
Hey, Cobra John, how you doing? Good to see you.
Yeah, still a little fuzzy, isn't it?
Yeah, the 90 turns ahead to the 10. There is the, let me see if I can manually adjust that for a minute. There is the brotherhood of cops. Okay, that cops do stand up for each other, and that's the way it is in a lot of fraternal and sorority organizations, that they face the same dangers, the same challenges every day, and sometimes they want to rise above their mandate. I think that might sharpen up a little bit now. It's as good as I can get it on there. If I try to put too high a bandwidth, then it just conks out. It can't handle it all on here. So yeah, some do turn a blind eye. I mean, you want to take the abuse of a police department. If you see a cop doing a bad thing, you're going to go back and go to Internal Affairs Division and report him.
Shouldn't be. The other cops should be commending that cop, though. It should be not to protect them, It shouldn't be cool to protect another cop. It should actually be commendable to, keep, they're cops. They're supposed to report illegal crime. It doesn't matter who you are. You're supposed to report it.
That's good, Cobra John. What states are burning? Arizona has a terrible fire burning down there. We have what's called our first red flag warning of the season, which means very dry conditions coupled with high winds tonight could lead to a down power line or something could spark brush, and you've seen how dry and brown you drive down the road, and you see how brown everything is right now. You can imagine
Yeah.
by October, it's really, really crispy.
I'd go crazy if it wasn't for the Golden Girls and deciding women.
Yeah, there you go. That's the way in a lot of high stress things. And I really want my boys backing me, but we would also expect them to call me out if I was wrong.
hmm
Um, it's challenging.
A cop's job is to report crime. It doesn't say report crime only on citizens. It's to report crime. Doesn't matter who you are, you're supposed to report crime. Even if it's the president or governor or whatever,
But
you
you
know.
can imagine when you serve in a capacity, maybe you ride with somebody, and although I don't see many cops riding in teams these days, you meet, you change together for a shift, you get to know each other, you go to barbecues at other officers' houses, and there's a camaraderie. And you
hmm
don't feel like you might pull them aside and say, man, Frankie, you were real, that wasn't cool. You know, I don't want to see you ever do that again. Think about it. Okay?
But that's what I'm saying. If they made it to where it was a shameful thing to do something against the law instead of protecting it, it'd be a totally different police force.
But nowadays, you said a Detroit cop makes 35K out of the gate. I mean, wow, it's a lot of potential for problems and things. You have to look at your recruiting base. Maybe the employment situation will result in a better quality of cop overall. I don't know.
They swore to uphold the Constitution, you know.
But they're human beings too at the end of the
Yes.
day.
That's true.
Like bankers swear fidelity to their clients, and yet how many of them ship off to a slow boat to South America with all their clients' money wired down to some shithole bank in Buenos Aires, Argentina, never to be seen again, right? How many priests abuse kids, and I mean we can just go down the list. I mean it's we're all human. Monkey Boy said it isn't worth the money. Yep.
But what about those? Where was that at? That I saw that yesterday in the news about those 4 cops on Facebook.
That was San Jose.
Yeah, San Jose on Facebook saying some very extremely racial things and
Yeah, I don't want to
threatening
repeat
things.
it on here, but
No,
they were very
but-
derogatory in the most negative context and verbiage that you could have against the BLM movement, and I'll leave that to your guys' imagination.
That's right, Chef. I would definitely. You've
Oh,
seen me do it
absolutely.
in a kitchen.
Absolutely, Chef. Um, and I feel like that's what brothers and sisters would do is say, hey, no good. Just get your head in the game. You just cross-contaminated that chicken or whatever with that bowl, and you would expect to be called out for that.
Exactly, Moxie. That's the only reason why I say the whole entire system needs to be revamped.
Yeah, if low lights don't switch, why should the cops? So now they've become targets in much of society, which is kind of. I suspect we're going to have a big price to pay for that.
Well, Joey D, the reason is because lowlifes are not public servants. Cops are.
Well, that's the way it is, Janet. There's a few bad bankers. There's a percentage-wise. I've been with some really crappy bankers that piss people's money away, and stockbrokers. I've seen crappy civil servants that could have cared less about what the job that they're doing. I've seen really cavalier IRS agents over the years. I've seen really lousy store employees and managers. They're human beings. You're going to have a cross section of human beings in those roles. There's nothing that sorts them out as special in terms of their psychological profiling. Why should we ask them to be at a higher standard than
Hey,
or
Kathleen?
have that expectation? My expectations are not that high for that. Not that high. How you doing, Kathleen Elliott? Good to see you. Yeah, it's a bad person, not the position. We all agree that law enforcement is good.
We definitely need
Yeah,
them.
you look at a city like Minneapolis, that the city council has voted to disband the police department, and a lot of the residents, probably the majority of residents that live there, their hair's probably standing on end, wondering what's going to happen. Uh, you know, that sounds like going down a real dark rabbit hole doing that kind of thing. It's got a feel good factor for the minute you're pandering to the situation, but you're not helping society.
Wow, 49% of the police officers in New York are
Yeah, that's what
putting
I
put
just
in
said,
retirement.
Kathleen. I mentioned that half of them have put in for retirement. Wouldn't you? I'd be the first one in line down there and say, punch my ticket, I'm done. As soon as the Caribbean opens, I'm going down, man. You can see me on the Disney's Paradise Island down there. Or down there partying with Kid Rock on the Budweiser cruise or something. The last place I would want to be is in New York. Plus, July 4th is coming up, which is supposed to be Independence Day in New York. And the police are thinking about calling in sick that day. And you don't think the thugs are sort of getting their batteries charged up for July 4th and what could end up being something like a purge that occurs? Pretty crazy. Pretty damn crazy when you think about it. Yeah, 49%. Yeah. And imagine who's going to come in and take their place. Suppose you go home and you're a 20-year-old kid. You tell mom and dad, I'm going to apply to be a New York City police officer.
Oh, no, you're
They're
not.
like, what? Are you kidding me? Get the chloroform. We're going to bind you and gag you and put you in the closet for a year till you're going to soak your head in a bucket of ice till you come to your senses or something. Well, that's what I'm saying, Trixie. They're calling that Independence Day. Epstein's Island is available. There you go, Chef. I'll tell you, Chef's a great go-to guy for. I told you, you'd be a good creative genius in an organization. Midweek stat on there's too much violent crime. It's scary. The police have always been militarized. He's the one that okayed all the to introduce all the surplus army equipment into. That was Obama signed that order to turn that gear over to police departments. That was a big. In a lot of cases, that made the police feel like they're.
They got Hummers, they were getting tanks,
and,
you name it.
APCs and things rolling down the street.
They started putting
Independence
them all over
Day a la
Detroit.
Purge, exactly. Do you look so healthy? Do you like to get great sleep and serve really good on you? Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
I'll tell you, you've been pretty happy.
Yeah. It only takes working to make me happy.
Good bike, good job, good attitude, and good prospects for the future. So some people will live in the past and have the rear view mirror constantly, but that's no way to drive into the future. So
No.
yeah, if you're coming into the chat, please take a second to thumbs up, and it'd be nice to hit 175 tonight on the thumbs up if you're just coming in. I think we all support it. I support the blue. I support the police. I appreciate it if you call 911 that somebody will show up that could potentially put themselves in the line of fire for you. Most of that stuff they just scrapped and took apart, Moxie. They just crushed it up or scrapped it for comprehensive defunding police, trying to change name of product. Yeah, it's a lot to keep up with, isn't it, RV Fat Cat? It's what I say, we're in a cultural revolution. And once a cultural revolution begins, like my video this morning said about China, it starts to take on its life of its own. You start to get very radical elements in politics that feel like they've had their noses rubbed in a pile of dew for 20 years, and man, they come out of the box like ready to wreak vengeance and in a terrible way. And we have this huge pushback. The hell was that? Oh, fireworks time. I forgot. Yep, sold or destroyed. That would be it.
Or if it was overseas, they just leave it there.
I'm not afraid of police. I've never been afraid of
That's
police.
true, Janet. I agree with you on that. I definitely agree with you on that.
I think law-abiding people never have anything to fear from police. Thugs have a lot to fear. And once in a while, people get caught on the wrong side by accident, and they just become a sad casualty in the situation. How you doing, Lisa? Good to see you. Yeah, that's right, Lala Box, and it comes out of the box with a vengeance and a terrible rate right before an election. Exactly. Exactly. So you let enough of the radical element come in, and you can expect hearing after hearing after hearing, and purges, and I mean, it's just you don't even want to think. You don't even want to think about that. You don't even want to think about that crap. No, we don't produce anything specifically for law enforcement in the way of military.
No, they just get the leftovers.
Here.
Which is still not.
Hey, Eric,
not
how
good,
you doing?
You know?
How you doing, Eric? So, that's why I like being in the middle. I can sort of see both sides. Yeah, thanks. Yep, we all got nips. Thank you, Vexiel. On that note, that's your subject, nips. I'm gonna go. Gonna go refill my
That's
drink.
my
here.
subject.
Yeah.
My nips are soft this evening. How you doing, Eric? Yeah, I just don't think the Obama should have done that. Yeah. Oh, you opened the wrong one? Oh man, there was this 2-liter 7-Up that dropped all over in the store, and then it dropped when we got home. As a parent of a deputy sheriff, I might get a little upset if Antifa or similar attack my child. Just exactly, sassafras. We do need them. I'm doing great.
Woo! Well, that's what's ultimately going to happen. Traveling is these cities are just going to implode. People are just going to end up migrating out of cities. We've already established that a lot of people can work remotely now.
Yeah.
They've done it for months.
Kids can go to school remotely. That's what they're.
I mean, let's face it, it's the next evolution of, in Manhattan and New York City, office rents are plunging at record rates. People are questioning the need to be in cities right now, and in the midst of that swill. So let the Lori Lightfoots and let them have it. Let them put the badge on and be on patrol. Yeah, we got to get ourselves ready for what's coming next. Yeah. Well, thank you, Jenya. Yeah, well, Eric, you certainly didn't get that posted, so.
Remote school is a nightmare.
But nobody needs to have McDonald's, Janet. That's the point I'm making. You don't need to have McDonald's. There's no government requirement that McDonald's open in your neighborhood. You know.
Leave it up to Janet to say something back.
Yep. You don't need to have a McDonald's. You don't need to have a Wendy's. Plus, they'll end up probably lighting them on fire anyway and laying waste to their communities. And then you'll have what's the equivalent of Fort Apache, the Bronx, or Escape from L.A. Right? It's Hollywood come to real life. Yeah, let Lori Lightfoot show up to morgue with the bodies. That's it. You got to learn the difference, Janet, between what's a service and what's a need. Services are wants.
So some people may disagree. She's right though.
Needs are necessities.
Some
People
people-
can do without McDonald's. People can do without movie theaters. People can do without a hell of a lot of things. I wish it were. Yay, Andrew Scott says, I wish I could work remotely.
Hey, Andrew
How you
Scott.
doing, Andrew Scott? Good to see you. Yeah, that was a bust, Trixie, unfortunately.
Well, I know my kids are gonna. Well, my daughter's she's deciding to choose college online courses and not go back into a physical.
Well, that's the
classroom.
reality, Janet. So you'll see your cities just burn and smolder, and you'll have your wish of kind and gentle police and everything, and we'll see how
I
that.
wish I could work
we'll see
remotely.
how that
Hey,
works out.
Rosie and Dean.
All right, guys, let's see if we can get it up to 175 thumbs tonight. That would be awesome. We're so close here. Only 8 away. Yeah, people can do without Vegas, and you know what? They're doing without Vegas in large numbers right now. They're absolutely doing without Vegas. I follow that like a rat to cheese on a daily basis. That's right. They don't need Vegas. That's exactly right. Yeah, utility. My company builds power lines for utility. Thank God that's considered attention. That's right. Exactly right.
That's true, Joey D.
Yep. So I tell you, the tragedy is we're heading into summertime in the heat. You're going to have the predicted weather pattern for July is way above normal temperatures in the Midwest and the Great Lakes. And in the East, that's going to be very conducive to pissed off people without air conditioning that are in bad moods that are going to get triggered easily. Hey, High Watch, thank you very much. We made it. Yay. Yeah, I hear you, Craig.
They even
I
have
hear
a bar in Las Vegas that's 100% robot operated. You order with your card, and then
Why didn't we go to that?
the robot does the drink for you and everything.
You got to take me to that place, man. I gotta.
It's expensive.
Oh, well, that's why I'm not there.
But I'm just saying they don't need people at McDonald's.
Well, that's the socialist dream, Janet. Is nobody has to work. It's the communist dream of Marx that we can all sit under the fig tree and read poetry. Nobody has to lift that bale or tote that barge, lift that bale. You know. Just wait until the fall. Yeah. Well, leaflet. I don't even want to go down. Don't even want to go down that. Don't even want to go down that road yet. That's for sure. Yeah, that does need tourists to survive, Trixie. Lisa, what part of North Carolina are you in? Are you on the coast or are you in the upcountry? I know Asheville and I know all the way out to the OBX there. Me needing glasses, online class. Yeah, they do limit your ability to 97 in Fargo. Yeah, it's going to be hot up there. So you can see somebody that I hear through the grapevine is going to be suffering through the heat coming up in the can. So you can imagine it's not going to be the greatest moods around those hot areas. So, hey, Kit and Kat, long time no see.
Thank you, Katie.
Katie did. Been missing do the work. I watched the chicken fry. Good to see you, Katie. How you doing, honey?
Hey, Kid and Cat.
Good to see you, sweetie. Yeah, good to see you. I wouldn't say the kit and cat. They're just there's too much perceived injustice, I think, on the radical left that if they get the controls of power, you're going to see this country pitch in some really wild directions here. Really wild directions. Right outside Charlotte. All right, I went through Charlotte. Yep. Huge revenues, power out of. Yeah, we have part of the chase is bad storm patterns. There you go. Well, there's one piece of leftover chicken. I ate 2 thighs tonight. And they were even better tonight. That chicken there was delicious. The good news is D says he doesn't eat thighs, so that left the That left, yeah, that's
They'll
what
eat
I'm saying,
legs.
Andrew. Beware whenever it's like a slingshot effect. It pulls so far in one direction, when it lets go, it overshoots on the other direction. Oh, I think we're in for the sustained part of the decline here now, kid and cat. Well, most Republicans are moderates too, so that's nothing new. But we can see now that the lunatic fringes, the AOCs, etc., are gaining in stature.
All I was gonna say is, if you enjoy high
Okay,
gas
Katie, love
prices,
seeing you.
vote Democrat.
Yeah, one piece of strawberry pie. I'm surprised he hasn't gotten out and finished that
I will.
tonight. It's good to hear. Thank you. Was that a little moth on the wall or something?
I don't know what it was, but it was bugging me.
Really bugging you going up the wall. Let's just hope that the pendulum swings into the middle. But I grew up at a time when Democrats and Republicans worked across the aisle, and they could give a little bit, get a little bit. They would compromise. Now you never hear really about you never hear about attempts to compromise or have get-togethers where you can say, "Hey, look, we got some problems here. Let's work together." I do think so, Kit and Cat. Yes, I do. I'm just holding off. This is going to be the. This is going to be the. I don't think there's any special.
The Freedom of Information Act took away a whole bunch of our rights, and that was the worst President Obama who signed that, the Democrat.
Yeah, I don't think there's any special magic that Democrats have. You honestly think somebody like Biden would have done anything or could do anything different? I mean, they're two sides of the same coin. I mean, it's just people reacting to crap that's coming down the pike. Yeah, those Democrats don't exist anymore. Yeah. But it's going to be an interesting election. I can tell you this prediction. It's going to be a hell of a contested election. You're going to see court systems, you're going to see injunctions, you're going to see impounded voting boxes, you're going to see impounded Secretary of State information. I'll tell you, it's going to be an election to remember, and whatever comes out of it, the other side is going to be really, really, really upset. Right on, guys. I don't know. Like I say, I try to be down the middle, but I look at his commercials on YouTube that come up on the thing, and it's a little frightening, She's got that little
This is
element.
my wife. It's his daughter.
Yeah, where is Bella? Yeah. I'm not looking forward to it, Jackie Blue. I'm really not looking forward to it. Yeah, Gavin Newsom's a good-looking governor. He is. And I can't fault the job he's done. See, this is why I don't just single people out because they're a Democrat. I think he's done a pretty good job of steering this state through this pandemic. So if a Democrat does something good, I give credit to a Democrat. Pulling me to do. No.
I hope not, JJ. Because he won't be the president. He'll just be the guy sitting in the office. Everybody else will pretty much be the president because he won't remember what he's supposed to do. He's got dementia.
I like Kit and Cats as a philosophical school called the Pragmatist that, hey, just run up the debt and leave the youth high and dry. They caused this anyway.
Well, at least I don't know anymore either. I definitely kind of feel like there could be one coming on soon.
Well, Gavin is not who I think, but I have to judge his actions as being on point during this pandemic. He has a huge budget, $150 billion shortfall, which is bigger than most state budgets in the country, the entire budget. He's got to come up with that. I mean, there's a certain degree, I'm not much on his liberalism, but there's a certain degree of competency that he brings on a daily basis. He hasn't been showboating, uh, like some governors have been on there. Yeah, Dr. D. No, I just look at, I'm not making that judgment, JJ. It's just that uh, I wonder mentally if he's sharp enough. I've sometimes wondered the same thing about Trump. Sometimes, I mean, it's
Trump's getting too old.
getting old.
He is.
I think he's, this is a situation that, maybe this is one of the downsides of being older is you don't have the reactive ability that maybe like a young guy, younger president would have. I don't know.
It's true. That's true, Eric. At the end of the day, the president is just another pawn.
Oh yeah, you see that. You see, I mean, I worry a lot about the desocialization of society. Hey, Julie, Army Mom, how are you doing? Wow, Lisa says they just raised property taxes 34% in some drowning states. We're going to have to pay for all this crap. Well, I guess we can always just have the Federal Reserve buy that in too. We're underwriting everybody's property taxes this year. Forward your bill to 1001 New York Avenue, Washington, D.C. 10001. No, I don't think so, Kit Kat. I think there's underlying economic issues apart from COVID. I think there's deeper fractures, fault lines in the economy that preceded, as I said in August, preceded this cornholio thing. Remember, when the Great Depression came on, nobody expected it in 1930 after the market crash, okay? They just thought, get up, dust yourself off, and hallelujah, that's over. Our leader's even more strange. I kind of like, what's his name in the UK? He seems like a tough nut to me. It's like Chris Tucker said in Rush, follow the rich white man. So Trump has done nothing to North Korea. You look at Kim's sister on there. She's got like the 1,000-yard stare in her eyes. I mean, it's like weird. Every picture's like.
Thing I've always said that Trump
I hate
is
you,
economically,
MF. You
he's
capitalist.
brilliant.
You capitalist running dog pigs. God, how much did I hear that when I was in China? Zibunja.
Trump economically is
Shango
brilliant, but when
Yanda.
it comes to like a military, he's not that good. And I don't think Biden's going to be good either. It doesn't matter who wins. I think this
It
country's
doesn't matter
doomed.
who wins. Whoever gets that gets a bag of rotten apples when it's.
But I am Republican.
Hello, I'm on it. Good to see you. Pick you what you think will do the least damage. Well, that's what I'm saying, Jacob. That's why I just sit myself in the middle because it's like watching Atari. Ping, bong, bing. Just batted back and forth over there. What sucks, you buy property, but you really, that's what I say, Katie. I always said, if you want to find out who really owns your property, try not paying your property taxes. Then you find out who really owns your property. That's right. That's right. That's when you find out who really has your property. So, all right, guys, let's see if we can we make it over 200 thumbs tonight? That would be great.
That is true, Sassy Fresh.
We're so close. 23 thumbs up. Only 23 more to go. Gonna sell and rent. Oh, Lord. Oh, I bet Kim Jong's sister's wild once you loosen her up. No, I think it's just too far down the pike, man. That you can see those North Koreans, and it's just like, wow. It's just like, ding, ding. Right? Yeah,
The
thumbs up for
state where my
appreciating,
residency
guys.
is in.
Thank you very much. Love the support. Thank you. But anyway, we'll see what happens. In the meantime, I don't really have a great expectation for 2020 being a good year.
Mm-hmm.
Precisely because we now have an election in there.
I'm just wondering what's going to happen next. We never predicted any of that, like a virus, protests, loots,
Next,
a chop.
I think the next leg down economically here for the markets is the next thing. If I'm wrong, I'm happy. If I'm right, then it's Katie bar the door. So this week's agenda is this will be our final week of observing what's going on. Dee's going to continue working and putting money in his pocket. I'm going to finish up these maintenance projects. Going to harvest some plums tomorrow. You had the first plums today.
Oh man, juicy.
Tell me about that Japanese plum, that Santa Rosa plum. What did you think?
The best I've ever had, man. The juice were dripping off my hand. I was running in the shine shack trying to wash them. It's like just dripping. I couldn't believe it.
More fun to come, and it's only going to get better and better. Get on the road and get those daily vlogs and those travel vlogs going and all that. There'll be some changes coming up, but we'll certainly be touching base, and live streams will continue to be a part of the channel because, quite frankly, I'm a very social person. I like to talk to you guys. I like your feedback. I learn a lot from the side chat. For example, studying cameras. I had like 20 emails that came in with ideas and links to videos to watch to help you make decisions on this and that. I'm very appreciative of that.
I would never let him around kids either. Watch some of the videos that he's done with
wow, Katie. See, we don't have to put up with that.
Wanting to kiss everybody's wives and everything else. He's a real creep.
With Prop 13, we don't have to worry about our taxes shooting up and reassessment and all that. They're always fixed at 1% of the purchase price, plus whatever school bonds or library bonds that you vote in. So, what the hell is that? Wow. Oh, man. Yeah, plums up. Thank you, Ninth Element. Yeah, we're so close tonight. I always have that goal of 200 on here. But I'm very happy tonight. It's been a really good it's been a good chat. This is like my social release. I'm not happy about the state of the world. I've had seven great years on YouTube that were all yucks, and God willing there'll be yucks and laughs and funny things and comedy and meeting weird and fascinating and wonderful people on the travels. But this is the here and now. If I don't have a chat and the ability to socialize and communicate like with Dee and with other people, I know why you like talking to people on the phone and touching base with your friends and stuff. It's good to keep that social connection.
Hey, Jeffrey.
It's always great. Hey, Jeffrey, how you doing? Oh, thank you, Jeffrey. I appreciate that. You never know how this morning's video would be received, but it's just a little glimpse of how even a simple YouTube video can be a cause of controversy in these times of cultural revolution. And I didn't mind serving up Jimmy Kimmel's ass either, because I think he's a sniveling little rat. Okay, why don't you just face the music? And I'm going on a hiatus for a while to be with my family. Your career will never be the same again, man. I'll just tell you right now, okay? Because you think you're a shrewd little mofo, but you're caught in the cultural revolution too. And I don't care what Adam Carolla, who's as big a loser, I don't care what he says. Can't stand those two. Hey, Bobby, who deleted Bobby's message? What? That's Bobby, man. Oh, okay, that's all right. Bobby, that's fun. No problem, Missy. If I didn't hear that from Bobby, I would think I was going out of my mind. I don't
How you
like
doing,
Jimmy
Bobby?
Kimmel. I got to be like that, Kimberly. You know, man up and own it. Uh, Now he's kind of taking the back way out, and now he's got Adam. Must have called Adam Carolla on the phone. Hey man, I'm in some deep shit here. Yeah, just pack out of town for a while, and it'll all blow over. And trust me, I know what to do in these situations. Yeah, Hollywood's gone down. It's how do you rise again? And they got. I mean, it's not a good foundation for the movie process. I mean, again, it's a cultural revolution, so they're going to be looking under every stage, every sound stage, under every golf cart tire, and talking to the gate guard. What did you see, and when did you see it? And, a lot of stuff's going to come to light. I don't like Jimmy Kimmel's horse's hiney. I can't stand him. Uh, I left him at the Man Show. I thought that was mildly amusing with girls with big, gazumbas bouncing on trampolines. I thought was pretty cool. But beyond that, wasn't much there.
I don't know who these people you are talking about. So.
Uh, Jimmy Kimmel, I don't know. He's an erstwhile comedian. He's supposed to host the Academy Awards next year. It's going to be a fiasco, I think so. The entertainment world is tough. The Late Late Show over it. Yeah, I like Johnny Carson. I watched that too. Yeah, look it up, Jacob. And Adam Carolla is just an apologist for a really crappy human being. Yeah, he's hiding out. So
You know how he started? He was actually a construction worker. I know who Adam Carolla is because he did the Love Line thing with Dr. Drew. But he started off as a construction worker telling jokes, and a producer walked by one day and thought he was funny and got him into showbiz. Isn't that crazy?
worst damn thing. Back in 2012, just before I started a YouTube channel in December, Janet, the boss, and I and Bobby went down to Vegas, and I thought it'd be great. We get tickets to the House of Blues at Mandalay Bay or whatever. Hey, Adam Carolla, I popped out $40 a ticket for everybody that night. It was the worst freaking 2 miserable hours of entertainment I ever sat through. That guy was the world's worst comedian. And I've just always had that grudge of that $160 I popped out on tickets. What a waste that was that night. Old school and proud. Miss Loveline so much it was the best. Yeah, there we go. So we'll see. I mean, I just,
I liked it. I thought it was a great show.
So,
I used to listen to it all the time on the radio.
yeah, Johnny Carson was great. I loved to just, the times could be up late and here's Johnny. Oh, yeah, I like that with Doc Severinsen in the band.
I liked Arsenio Hall when I was growing up.
Yeah, that was it, Janet. Adam Carolla gets up on stage, puts on an overhead projector, and shows his income per year rising, as if that's entertaining. This is year 2008. Then 2009, I did this, and then I met Jimmy Kimmel in 2010. And wow, look at that! My income went up to over $1 million. It's like what? It was terrible, terrible, terrible. Never want to go through that again. Oh, we're only 5 away from 200 thumbs, guys. Woo! Wouldn't that be awesome to get to that? Yeah, where every single skit was. There was nothing to, maybe there was a little bit during Watergate. There was a little bit, but it was all good. My parent and the Carol Burnett show was great too, with Tim Conway and Harvey Korman and Vicki Lawrence. Yeah. We were like when they're traveling. We were like some of the last, Janet and I and Bobby and the Boss. We were some of the last people in 2013 to see Joan Rivers live. She died shortly after that. Yay, 200 thumbs. Thank you, guys. That's awesome. That is great. Yeah, Roseanne Barr for, yeah, so she did a funny show, though. I have to say, Joan Rivers she was flaming hot, but she was funny on the stage. Yeah, there's nothing going on upstairs. Hey, Coach, how you doing? Oh, it's just it's 5 or 6 people, and every day they make more and more multiple troll accounts to come in. But every engagement is yay. Well, you can grab a beer if you
No,
want.
I'm good. I don't need a beer.
Watch that water down.
Oh, there's nothing in it.
That's lucky.
No, I don't need a beer.
How you doing, Jacqueline? Carol Burnett was great, and I'm correct. Archie Bunker, Red Fox was funny. Man, Red Fox used to be considered out there. He used to be considered very controversial. Yeah, she fell off the piano. I always think that was part of the show, though. And if you want to see us attending the Joan Rivers concert in June of 2013, my birthday trip to Reno, Nevada, you can look it up in the playlist down there of travels. Just put Reno in the playlist search box, and you'll come up with great adventures and great fun that we always had. It's a different time for sure. So good times. I don't know. I really enjoyed Joan Rivers. I really enjoyed her show, but tragically, didn't go. Sanford Son, do 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 do. I like LaWanda Page, you old fish-eye fool. Fred Sanford, yo heathen you. Yeah. She was funny. You'll see more celebrity fallout too. A lot of them are running from cover. I was seeing Kim Kardashian's whole deal she's got with Coty perfume is shaky right now. It's just, let me tell you, that lavish lifestyle isn't going to cut a lot of ice coming up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to be coming for the low enders. They're going to be heading into Bel Air and Beverly Hills and places like that as the cultural revolution rolls on. I'm coming to join you, honey. Yeah, I like that. Woodrow, are you in that bottle again? Well, I'm married to you, ain't I, Esther? You old fish-eyed fool. Oh, man. 20 anglers. It's going to be a long time before I go out. I still got a ton of fish in there. Unless you want to go out, Janet. Ooh, 207, 209. Thank you, guys. It's been a great chat tonight. So.
Good night, Craig.
Yeah, I'm gonna sign off now too. Thank you, guys. Really, I always feel so when I hang out with you guys. I feel so uplifted spiritually and mentally. I feel like we just had a block party here and sitting in the chairs and roasting weenies and cracking Budweiser beer, man, and shooting up some fireworks and flying those little American flags. Okay. with that, I want to wish you all a very good Sunday evening, and we can all hope that maybe this week won't be as rocking, but who knows?
Oh, the Golden
Thank you
Girls are
very
on Hulu.
much. Yeah, on Hulu. So, to my moderators, as usual, thank you very much. You guys are the best. You are the backbone of the chat, and I'm always grateful for the job you do. Dee, thank you for sitting in
No problem.
tonight and having a good time. And thank you for the epic feed again last night. And I think we'll have our last kitchen stadium, and be interesting to see what goes on then. So thank you, everybody. If you haven't hit the thumbs up on the way yet, please do so. Thank you for being a part of a great chat stream tonight. God bless, and stay safe, and don't forget, wear that mask.